I want to read a scripture out of Titus chapter 2 in verse 7. It says, and you yourself must be an example to them by doing good works of every kind. Let everything you do reflect the integrity and the seriousness of your teaching. And for me, what I really wanted to share was more of a testimony in my life of, there's 3 women in my life that changed my life forever. And one of them was, before I even got saved, my best friend growing up. They were Christians, and I never knew it. They didn't push it on me. They just loved me for who I was and all of the mess that I would take into the house. Got slapped multiple times for it. And she just loved me for who I was. And then I gave my heart to the Lord when I was 18, and I knew there was a family that lived up the street from me, that I had become friends with one of their kids, and I knew that they were Christian as well. So I called the mom and I said, Reba, last night I gave my heart to the Lord. And I heard absolutely nothing, just silence. And so I thought that was a good thing. Like that was right? Like I did the right thing. And then within a couple of seconds, I heard whimpering over the phone and realized real quick that she was crying. And I said, Reba, is everything okay? And she said, Jimmy, I've been praying for you for 11 years.
Aww.
And she said, you answered my prayer. She said, for every day for 11 years, I've prayed for you. And then after that, became really close with my youth pastor, and his wife pulled me in as well. And even in my mess then, they still just loved me for who I was. And I would come to church and then go out and do all of my junk, and then come to church and just bouncing back and forth. But they just loved me through it. And I can honestly say, if it wasn't for those 3 women in my life, I wouldn't be here doing what God has blessed me to be able to do. I love what I do. In taking a step back and looking at the big scheme of things, they served the Lord by loving people. And it's so easy for us to come in and say, well, I'm going to serve in this way and clean this table and clean this. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes we mistake that sometimes serving people can be as simply as just smiling and giving them a hug when they walk in the door. And someone that needed that type of acceptance and love from a mother figure was getting it from them, and their love pushed me to the love of God. Allowed me to catapult me into what it is that God had called me to do. And so what I would encourage is to serve, but do it with a motive of love, for the reason of this. You never know who it is that person's going to turn out being, that you're loving. I count it an honor and a privilege and such a blessing that if it wasn't for them loving me in all of my junk and all of my mess, I wouldn't have been able to minister to teenagers. And I'm sure God would have gotten a hold of them. It wasn't me. Know that. It was not me at all. It was just obedience. But the hundreds of teenagers that we've been able to minister to throughout the 11 years of youth ministry might not have been ministered to if it wasn't for those 3 ladies.
Mm-hmm.
You're needed, ladies. You're needed. There are young men and there are young women that need you just to love them. And that's serving, is just loving.
Amen.